Coming up, Fran Dunphy is leaving for St. Joe's.
Bernard Pierce takes his game to another MAC East Power in Eastern Michigan.
Plus, Al Golden says goodbye North Broad Street and hello Happy Valley. Wait a second, isn't today a special day on the calendar?
April Fools. Owlsports Update starts right now! Hello and welcome to another edition of Owlsports Update. Alongside Joe Polinsky, I'm Colleen Shea. Coming up, the baseball team opens up Atlantic 10 play with a 7-game homestand at Skip Wilson Field.
And we have all the details about the fencing team's big weekend at the NCAA Championships, plus a story about how the women's lacrosse team is raising awareness for a deadly disease. But first things first. After securing its first home victory last week, things are still not looking so hot for the baseball team heading into conference play. Our own Tom Monfiletto is standing by in the newsroom with more on Rhode Island's trip to Ambler. Tom.
Well, thank you, Joe Poe. Back in 2008, the Owls stormed into Kingston, manhandled the Rams in 3 straight games, and didn't even leave their phone number. But we know baseball players have real good memories. 2 years later, with vengeance on their minds, the Rams brought the brooms to Skip Wilson Field, looking for a sweep of the Owls in their first conference series of the season. Rams pitcher Tim Boyce mowed down the Owls' entire lineup, striking out Jaber Khan twice, keeping Tony Giussino hitless on the day. Giussino entered the series batting .406, came out of it batting .386. In the third inning, Byron McCoy rips one to right. Jaber Khan motors all the way over to third base, but he would get stranded there, one of 5 Owls left on base on the entire day. Owls ace Matthew Mongiardini had 7 innings pitched, gave up only 3 runs, one of which came here on an Oliver Palmer ground out to shortstop, which plated Mike LaBelle. Owls fall on this one 4-1, despite Mongiardini's gem. Game 2 at the Skip left the Owls in a serious hole here, but in the third inning they did all of their scoring, helped out by this single by Adrian Perez plating Jaber Khan. Taylor Duran assuming the DH duties on the day. Got at this RBI, plating Ryan Ferguson. Ben White, coming off a 7-inning, 9-strikeout masterpiece against Niagara, found himself in trouble here in the 7th inning as Evan Loudy squeaks this little case into right field, plating the go-ahead run. The Rams go up 6-5, but bottom of the 9th with the Owls down 2, bases are drunk. What are you drinking? And Tony Giussino at the plate, the Owls' best hitter. Rams closer Garden Lever on the bump, and Tony Giussino grounds out to the shortstop. And the Owls fall in this one 7-5 with 6 errors to boot, pun intended. But amidst the cloudy Sunday afternoon, the Owls were able to bring some light to the series as they shunned the brooms and salvaged the finale behind a strong performance from pitcher / third baseman / captain / overall tremendous human being Steve Nickerak. He went 6 innings and struck out 5 while slapping a double and adding 3 RBI. The Owls took this one 8-4. Ryan Ferguson roped a pair of doubles and a triple, drawing some serious fantasy buzz. And the Owls improved to 3-16 on the year. Guys, the Owls look to use this win as momentum as they take on the defending A10 champs Dayton Flyers at home this weekend. Now, I'm no Cicely Tynan, but it looks like some tropical weather is rolling in. Should be a good weekend for baseball. And Joe Poe, when you're deciding between jersey and suit, go with the jersey.
Thank you, Thomas. Will do. Now, over the last 5 years, the baseball team has had much better days and seasons for that matter. One reason is head coach Rob Valley, whose experience led the Cherry and White to their first A10 tournament berth since 2002. Owlsports' Sam Papard has more from Skip Wilson Field.
After notching his 300th career win, Rob Valley has shown that he has been successful wherever he has coached baseball, especially at Temple University. Since Valley's debut as head coach in 2006, he has not only made Temple a playoff contender, but led Temple baseball to some historic accomplishments, such as in 2008 when Temple had a record 16 conference wins, its first A10 playoff berth in 6 years, and its highest winning percentage in the past 20 years.
Well, we came in the middle of the year in 2006, and we knew we had some work to do to get back to the tradition that we've had in getting to the postseason and making a run in that postseason.
The Owls attribute Valley's success to his fine-tuned treatment of each individual player that is tailored to what that particular hitter or pitcher needs to improve his performance.
He's good at kind of dealing with what each individual guy needs to hear in order to get out of that slump or whatever they're going through at the time.
What we've done differently early in the year that won't necessarily hold up a week from now is we give our pitchers a little bit more of a leash to kind of see how they're going to respond to adversity.
Despite a rough start in what is now his 5th season, fans can expect Rob Valley, an award-winning record-breaking coach, to have more success. For Owlsports, I'm Sam Papard.
The women's gymnastics team recently hosted the ECAC Championships at McGonigal Hall. The Owls did very well, taking 3rd overall for the 3rd time in a row. Sophomore Corinne Williams took top honors on the floor, leading all competitors with a score of 9.85. Junior Katie Canning earned a 6th place finish with a score of 9.275. The women's gymnastics team has their sights set on the 2010 USA Gymnastics Women's Collegiate National Championships in April. The women will be one of the 8 teams vying for the 2010 USAG Women's Collegiate National Championship, held April 15th to the 17th at Texas Women's University. The Owls, ranked 7th in the final rankings, will also be competing against Bridgeport, Cornell, Rutgers, William & Mary, Air Force, and Seattle Pacific.
Midway through the season, with just 3 victories to show, the women's lacrosse team did something it hadn't done since 1998. The Cherry and White beat nationally ranked Princeton 14-12. The Owls were led with hat tricks from Stephanie Markunas, Ann Stouffer, and Charlotte Suavola. In conference, the Owls split 2 weekend games. Their late rally against Richmond proved to be too little in dropping the contest 15-14. Senior midfielder Chelsea Rosaic led the Cherry and White with 4 goals and 4 assists. But the Owls then found their rhythm against the Colonials of George Washington, snatching an 11-7 victory. Jess Colucci notched the winning goal, recording 11 saves for the Cherry and White. The team next returns home for a matchup against Massachusetts. Speaking of its match on Saturday, the lacrosse team will continue its support for the Friends of Jacqueline Foundation. The foundation's goal is to improve the quality of life for children with brain tumors. The lacrosse team is dedicating its game against defending A10 champion UMass to this foundation. The team is asking any families who have children with brain tumors to come to game, which starts at 1 p.m. at Giese Field.
The Owls softball team didn't have much luck against St. Louis over the weekend in Ambler. The Owls fell in the first 2 games. Game 2, Temple rallied as Kayla Cook crushed her first career home run. But again, the Billikens were too much in an 8-1 win.
The women's fencing team returned to action on the biggest stage of them all, the NCAA Championships in Madison, New Jersey. Thanks to 4 Owls taking top 20 finishes, the team was able to place 9th overall. They were led by All-American Kristen Howe in the epee, Melissa Parker in the foil, and sophomore Kamiley Thompson in the saber.
Temple football signee Wyatt Benson joined Team Stars and Stripes at the 2010 Global Bowl in France. He scored a touchdown, helping the team to an 83-0 shutout victory over the Brussels All-Stars. Looks like good things are ahead for the Owls' 2010 football season.